Hello, YouTube! This is NetGreen123, and today I'm doing my deck profile for the one and only Magical Musketeers. This is a 55 card deck profile. I will be going over the monsters, spells, and traps, and then the extra deck. Let's get on with this, shall we? As you can see at the front of the deck, we run 3 of some of the best card in the deck. This, of course, is the Magical Musketeer Caspar. During either player's turn, when a card is activated in the same column as Caspar is, this allows Caspar to activate an effect, allowing you to search your deck for a Magical Musketeer card. But it can't be the same name as a card you already activated this turn. We also run, the next 3 of in the deck is the Magical Musketeer Kid Brave. Kid Brave is a 1600 body, which is one of the biggest bodies in the team, and his effect is when a card is activated in his column, he allows you to send a Magical Musket card from your hand to the graveyard and then draw 2. He helps to get cards from the deck. Next, our main part of recursion. 3 Magical Musketeer Doctor. Doc allows you to recover cards from your graveyard if a card, spell or trap, is activated in the same column as he is, which means you can proc this with either your card, or if your opponent's like, I activate a trap card, well guess what? I get to get something back from my graveyard. Thanks. Also, now I can activate that card and negate whatever you just did. Now for the 2-ofs of the deck. We run 2 Magical Musket Starfire. Starfire allows you to, when she has a card that activates under her and procs her effect, she can special summon a monster from the deck in defense position. Next 2-off of the deck, Magical Musketeer Calamity. She allows you to Monster Reborn back a monster from your graveyard if a spell and trap is activated in defense position. And now to the 2 1-ofs of the deck. We run 1 Magical Musketeer Wild. He's got a very big body, and he also allows you to, target 3 Magical Musket cards in your graveyard, shuffle them into the deck, and then draw a card, which is always good. And finally, the last Magical Musket monster for the deck, the 1 Magical Musketeer Mastermind Ezekiel. Ezekiel's effect is, you contribute summon him by attributing only 1 Magical Musket monster. And during either player's turn, if you activate a Magical Musket spell and trap in the hands, of course, and of course, all Magical Musket monsters have the ability to activate your spells and traps from hand. Now, if Magical Musket spells or trap cards are activated during your opponent's turn, for every one that's activated, Ezekiel allows you to draw cards. Now to a tech option that I put into the deck. I run 3, for the monsters, Archfiend Eccentric. Now this is, a pendulum monster, but it's never going to be used as a pendulum monster. Well, yes, it's going to be used as a pendulum card, but unfortunately, it's not going to be, summoned to the field very often. She doesn't have very high attack or defense, but that's not her biggest plus. When you activate her underneath one of your Magical Musket monsters, she acts as a spell card, which of course procs their effect. Also, you can send her to the grave and blow up a spell and trap on your opponent's side of the field. This can allow you to get rid of cards that are useful to your opponent. The next 3 we have, which honestly, I really shouldn't be running a 3. 3 Honest. Oh boy, this is fun. 3 Honest. Because all my monsters are light-based, This allows when my opponent either attacks into them or when I attack into them, this allows me to add the attack points of my opponent's monster that I'm either attacking or being attacked by to my monster. And of course, well, you know what Honest does. It allows you to slap your opponent in the face and be like, oh, guess what? Slap. No, get Honest. Finally, for the one-ofs of the deck, one Shining Angel. This allows you to, when it's destroyed by battle and sent to the grave, special summon one light monster with 1500 attack or less from the deck in attack position. And finally, for some monster removal, we run one Eater of Millions. Now, on to the spells. For the Magical Musket spells, we run 3 Cross Domination. Cross Domination can be activated from the hand as a quick play spell to allow you to turn your monster's attack, well, your opponent's monster, hopefully, to 0 and negate its effects. Plus, this also activates the effects of your Magical Musket monsters. The next 3 off is Magical Musketeer Steady Hand. This, of course, doubles your Magical Musketeer monster's attack points, but it can't attack directly, which is good for maybe attacking over some of your opponent's smaller monsters. The next 3 off we have, that's all for the Magical Musket spells. Next 3 off we have is 3 Ties of the Brethren. This is one of the important cards of this deck. You activate Brethren. Normally you want to do this on the first turn, because, maybe, you don't have... It allows you to build a little board to protect yourself before your opponent attacks. Plus, you can use this to get out a bunch of monsters and then just go off with your spells and traps. But you won't be able to attack this turn. That's okay, though. Next, the most important 3 of... 3 Called By. No hand traps for you. Stop it. Get some help. Now to the 2 ofs of the deck. I think we only have... Yes, we only have 1 2 of. 2 Photon Leads. This allows you to special summon a light monster from your hand in face-up attack position. I run this as a quick play spell to allow me to activate the effects of, my Magical Musketeer monsters, so that way I can summon more monsters to the field. Now for the 1/ofs of the deck. 1 Pot of Duo, and 1 Desires, and 1 Duo. Desires, of course, banish 10, draw 2, Pot of Duality, search the top 3 cards, add 1 to your hand, send the rest back to the deck. Next, we play 1 Lucky Iron Axe. This is, mostly just for either activating the effect or giving my monster an attack boost. And if this card is destroyed by an opponent's card effect and sent to the graveyard, I get to draw a card. Because, Yu-Gi-Oh! Players actually reading the card text. Now that's funny. Alright, to the next 3 odds. 1 Day of Peace, drawing cards. 1 Double Summon, summoning more monsters and proccing their effects. 1 Enemy Controller. This, of course, is taking control of your opponent's monster or just changing their battle position. So if they're in defense, I can change them to attack mode if they don't have enough attack points to stop my monsters to do more damage. And finally, 1 Monster Reborn. That's all for these spells. And finally, onto the trap cards. For the Magical Musket traps, 3 Magical Musket Desperado. This allows you to destroy 1 card on the field. It allows you to target a face-up card on the field, destroy it. Plus, since we're playing Magical Musketeers, you can activate this as a hand trap to blow up your opponent's cards. And they're like, oh, I'm gonna synchro summon. Actually, no, I activate Desperado and I blow up your tuner monster. 3 Magical Musket Last Stand. This is a counter trap card that counters any spell or traps activated and just says no spells or traps. And for the 1-ofs of the Magical Musket cards, 1 Fiendish Deal for monster protection, 1 Crooked Crown to allow me to special summon monsters from my hand, and finally 1 Dancing Needle, which banishes his cards from your opponent's graveyard. Now to the non-Magical Musketeer trap cards. We only run 2. We run 1 Reckless Greed and 1 Compulse. That's the main deck. Let's move on to the extra deck. For the starting cards for the extra deck, we run 3 Magical Musketeer Max. Max helps out with the deck quite a lot. All you need is 1 Magical Musketeer monster and you got a Max. Max allows you to, depending on what's on the field, you can either, for how many monsters your opponent has, you can add that many Magical Musket spells or traps to your hand, or for how many spells and traps they have out, you can special summon Magical Musketeer monsters from your deck out to the field. Next, we have 1 Hippo Shimmigan. This is a light fairy monster. It's special summoned as a Link 2 with 2 light monsters, but all the Magical Musketeers are light monsters, so Hippo Shimmigan gives a big light power boost. Next, 1 Puzzle Amino, the drop-in deleter. Puzzle Amino is 2 monsters with different levels. Mostly this means either one of my level 4s and my level 3s. If a monster is special summoned faced up to a zone that this card points to, while you control this monster, you can declare a level from 1 to 8, and that monster becomes that level. If you can then target 2 monsters of the same level and destroy them, which is pretty good. I mean, it's not the best thing, but it's alright. And then we have Borload Dragon. This allows you to snatch steal your opponent's monster off the field if it attacks into it. Now for the Exceeds monsters. 1 Tornado Dragon for spell trap removal. 1 Utopia, cause attack. 1 Time Thief Redoer for stealing your opponent's cards off the field. And 1 Constellar Omega for a very big body, and, and finally, 1 number 20 Giga Brilliant, and yes, that is very shiny. Giga Brilliant allows you to up your attack points. Honestly, this deck isn't the best, but I do love the cowboy theme, and I love the Magical Musketeers. So thank you for watching this deck profile. I hope you will like it. Hope you will give me a comment, see what else I can do, and maybe subscribe. Thank you very much.